Interdisciplinary learning can focus on the interaction of different areas of the curriculum by highlighting how the knowledge, skills, and understanding from one area can either enhance learning in another or give a different perspective. Here are some examples that teachers have shared. In PE, I always start with a warm-up activity and sometimes do it in French to practice language we've learnt in class. For instance, I taught my P3 class the words for animals and verbs of movement in French. In PE, I put the learners into groups and they had to do shuttle runs between 2 cones. They listened to instructions in French for how to do the runs based on the animals, such as bunny hops, les sauts de lapin. In languages, learners developed their listening and talking skills, and my P1 class drew a picture of themselves and then said a few sentences to introduce themselves in English. Later in the term, we returned to this activity and did it in French, giving a name and age. With my P6 class, I was exploring how technology can help learners to communicate, and I used the Texting Story app to create a text conversation for learners to read and listen to. It was based on language they already knew, asking someone how they are and replying. The class then worked in pairs to create their own text message conversation using the app. I like to focus on how France and Scotland are similar and different by looking at what we eat, what we like to do for leisure, and famous artists and singers. Last year, my P5 class focused on different food, and we had the opportunity to make traditional dishes such as pancakes. Learners gave short presentations in English about France and the different specialties. My P3 class wanted to share what they had learnt in class with the rest of the school in an assembly. We looked at traditional French rhymes and songs, and the children performed and acted out a song at assembly. They also created a simple fact file after watching a short video about France with information about the capital city, the flag, and landmarks. My whole school looked at pointillism at the start of the new school year, and each class explored this in a different way. My P3 class focused on a painting by Seurat. They then created their own paintings using Q-tips, and I used this to revise colours in French and look at the concept of colour mixing. Our school had a nursery P1 transition project focusing on mini beasts. We looked at the animals, the names of them, and their life cycles, and key facts. I taught them the words for some of these mini beasts in French. My P5 class were helping out a P1 class with their numeracy, and they wanted to make a board game after having played one in our own French lesson that had focused on endangered species. It was a game that brought together science and French with question cards revising key scientific facts and French vocabulary. The class then made simple board games based on numbers 1 to 10 in English and French and mental maths. Our school looks at different festivals and traditions leading up to Christmas. This is a chance to explore different faiths, and we look at different customs in Scotland, China, Spain, and France. The aim is to develop tolerance and understanding and help our learners be more global citizens. We introduce French to our nursery children, and in the autumn we go on a scavenger hunt to find leaves of different colours. This revises colours in French, and we also play different playground games. This focuses on skills of listening, taking turns, and working together, which are essential for every day in school. These examples showcase how all the different curricular areas work together in different ways to bring learning together and make learning a richer experience.